You're not a dev anymore. You're a reviewer of code you don't understand. You're shipping features you can't debug in a system that you just don't own anymore. And the worst part, you think that's fine because the AI wrote it fast. The real problem isn't the AI. It's that you basically handed over the controls without building a cockpit. Speed without understanding isn't productivity. It's a delayed disaster. And right now, it's accumulating in your codebase, and you can't see it. Technical debt you can see. You know it's there. You made the call. Comprehension debt is different. It's the gap between how much code exists in your system and how much of it any human actually understands. It grows invisibly. The AI writes code that passes tests, looks clean, ships fast, and nobody on the team can explain what it does when production breaks at 2 a.m. Git clear analyzed 211 million lines of code. Code churn, lines rewritten or deleted within 2 weeks of being written, jumped from 5.5% to 7.9%. That's not velocity, that's waste on a loop. I've seen teams sprint for 3 months with AI and then spend 6 months trying to figure out what they actually built. The sprint felt great. The 6 months felt like archaeology. Write code you can own. If you can't explain it in a post-mortem, you shouldn't have shipped it. Syntactically correct, semantically wrong. That's the definition of AI slop. The AI doesn't know your architectural intent. It doesn't know why that service boundary actually exists or what that field definition meant 6 months ago when the product team changed it. It pattern matches from training data, and it produces something that compiles, passes surface level review, and quietly breaks assumption between systems. Think of it like a contractor who builds exactly what the blueprint says, but the blueprint was written for a different building. Everything fits, nothing works. Duplicated code blocks increased 8-fold in 2024. That's not efficiency. That's a write-only culture. Nobody is refactoring because it's faster to generate something new. So before you merge AI output, ask yourself one question. Does this code know why it exists? If the answer is no, you're not done. 45% of AI-generated code contains security flaws. That's not a fringe finding. That's Veracode analyzing over 100 LLMs. AI fails to defend against cross-site scripting in 86% of relevant samples. Log injection, 88%. Hard-coded credentials show up at twice the rate in AI-assisted development. The reason's pretty simple. LLMs are trained on public repos. Public repos contain decades of insecure code. The model can't tell a secure pattern from an insecure one by prevalence alone. It just produces what it saw most. This isn't a performance problem. This is a liability problem. If your system handles financial data, healthcare records, or physical infrastructure, the AI wrote it is not a defense. It's an admission. Treat AI-generated code in high-risk areas, auth, payments, surface boundaries, like untrusted input. Review it just like that every single time. Here's this productivity paradox nobody talks about. AI makes junior developers faster at generating code. That's true, but research across 2,755 projects shows that senior developers reviewing that code, they see a 19% drop in their own productivity. You're not getting 55% gains across the board. You're redistributing the cognitive load into the people who can least afford to lose time. You're freeing up your juniors by loading up your seniors. Your seniors are becoming garbage collectors. They're not designing systems. They're cleaning up after the AIs and the juniors who trusted it. It's like doubling the output of your factory floor when you have the capacity of quality control. Volume goes up, defect rate goes up faster. Fix the review process before you scale the generation. Otherwise, you're just compounding the problem faster. Randomized controlled trials show participants using AI scored 17% lower on comprehension tests than those who coded manually. Junior developers using AI aren't building mental models. They're borrowing them, and borrowed mental models don't survive a production incident. We're pulling the bottom rug off the engineer career ladder. The juniors of today are supposed to become the seniors of tomorrow. But if they never struggle through the logic, never build the intuition, never get it wrong and fix it themselves, they don't become seniors. They become prompt operators with the seniority and title only. Don't let your junior developers use AI as a replacement for thinking. Use it like a verification tool after they've thought. Big difference. If their brain sits in a glass jar next to them when they're working, that's a big problem. The fix isn't less AI, it's shifting what the primary artifact is. Right now for most teams, the primary artifact is the code. The AI generates it, the human looks at it, it ships. Wrong order. The primary artifact should be the specification, the what and the why, written by a human before the AI touches anything. Spec-driven development works like this. You explain the intent. You plan the architecture. You break it into tasks the AI can execute sequentially. Then you verify against the spec, not just against whatever it compiles. GitHub's Spec Kit calls this a project constitutions, non-negotiable principles for quality, testing, security. It's baked in before a single line of code is generated. And here's a practical number. TypeScript catches 94% of LLM errors that are type check failures. If you're using TypeScript like Guardrail, isn't a style preference. It's a safety mechanism. Write the spec first. Let the code be the implementation detail, not the source of truth. Architecturally, AI is not a feature, it's a dependency, and you should treat it like a slow, non-deterministic, potentially unreliable one. That means you don't call AI services directly in the request path. You use queues, background workers. You can implement circuit breakers and timeouts. You design fallback paths. If your system requires 99.9% availability and the AI-generated design doesn't explicitly include a fallback, you don't have a 99.9% system. You have an optimistic estimate. Open telemetry for tracking every AI request. SLOs defined before the system ships. Complexity thresholding. Cyclomatic complexity above a threshold triggers mandatory human review. Full stop. The AI doesn't care about your SLA. You do. Design like you do. Build a resilience into the architecture before you discover you needed it at 3 a.m. on a Friday. The most seductive counter-argument is this. The debt doesn't matter because future AI will clean it up. It won't. Not without context. Not without the original intent. AI refactors syntax. It can't refactor meaning it never had. If no human ever understood why a system was built in a way, the AI cleaning it up is just generating new assumptions on top of old ones. SQLite is used in billions of devices. They explicitly ban AI-generated code because their standard, total accountability, precision over probability, is incompatible with probabilistic output. NASA's safety-critical software requires modified condition and decision coverage. AI-generated code routinely fails these standards. It introduces bloat and unnecessary abstraction. These are not edge cases. These are the stakes for anyone building systems that matter. The debt compounds. Don't let anyone tell you a future model will absorb it. That's gravity pointing in the wrong direction. AI floods the ecosystem with generic code and mediocre documentation. The market value of expert verification goes up, not down. The developer who can guarantee a system is secure, compliant, and architecturally sound, who can prove it works correctly, not just that it runs, becomes the most valuable person in the room. The metric shifts. It's not lines of code generated. It's return on AI investment, guardrail, breach rates, structural integrity over throughput. The head chef in a kitchen with a sous chef robot doesn't get replaced. They become more valuable because they're the only ones who knows what the dish is supposed to taste like. Know why the code should exist. Know when it's wrong. That's the role machines can't fill. Here's the shift that matters the most. You've been thinking about AI like it's a tool that makes you faster. That's the wrong mindset. AI is a signal amplifier. If you bring clear intent, strong architecture, and disciplined review, it amplifies that. If you bring vague requirements, weak standards, and trust without verification, it will amplify that too, faster, at scale. The developers who get replaced are not the one AI can do the work of. They're the ones who never developed the judgment to know when AI is wrong. They became dependent before they became capable. Moving from code author to intent manager, it's not a downgrade, it's the evolution. But you have to actually own the intent. You have to write the specs, set the guardrails, define the architecture, and know enough to catch the failure before it ships. That's not a soft skill. That's the technical skill for this decade. calibrated confidence, not blind trust, not paranoid rejection. You know what the AI is good at, you know where it fails, and you design your process around both. The engineer who can do that doesn't get automated. They become the one who govern the automation. That's the career that survives this transition. You need more serious CTO? There's a link right here. It's also in the description. If you can't explain what your AI wrote when the system fails, you're not an engineer anymore. You're a liability with a GitHub account.